Okay, about to start talking about a movie that was so unbelievably underwhelming, uninteresting, and just all around uneventful that I can't even say it was bad. It had all the ingredients that you could possibly think of to have an interesting premise, an interesting concept, or and just be a fun movie. Not too much, not too little, but just fun. But it turned out to be so bland that I can't call it bad. It's just tasteless.
Circus midget.
It's like the presentation was there, but when you take a bite out of it, there's nothing. And that's worse than actually being done horrible, because at least with horrible you would have something to say, something to critique or to improve. But with this, there's nothing. So it's like, well, I can't tell you what went wrong with this because from the looks of it, it should have been okay, but you gave me nothing. And that's from the movie Play Dirty. Now, Play Dirty is a 2025 movie that came out on Amazon Prime, which is yay, streaming movie, always a good idea. But for this, I'd say not only was this the right course of action, but the only course of action this movie could have taken. Starring Mark Wahlberg and directed by Shane Black. It's such a terrible thing, because Shane Black actually is a decent director, or he was, because Shane Black directed the Predator, which yeah, I don't know about that one, but I always like the banter in that movie, but the movie itself is ridiculous. Just some of the banter. But he also directed The Nice Guys, and I really like The Nice Guys. And then, you got Long Kiss Goodnight, Last Boy Scout. The dude got a good catalog of movies, and so then when you see shit like this, you get disheartened. This franchise, you get sad. You get so sad.
Friends don't rape friends.
Because it's like, what the hell happened? Why did you make this? This movie is supposedly, let's break it down real quick. But the Play Dirty movie supposedly is based off of a book series, right? And the thing is that you can kind of immediately tell that that's the direction the main character is supposed to be in, but it's not the direction that the movie needed him to go, as far as like character development or any type of progression for the plot and whatnot. You can tell, like in the book, a lot of things are explained, a lot of things go into details, certain stuff is skipped out, and then in a movie adaptation, all that stuff is gone, but it was actually necessary in order to flesh out the character, to make him a character worth reading. Well, in this movie, you just kind of are thrown in the place of there's a heist. It's like starts off with a heist, and then that just leads into a heist. So then the movie becomes a typical heist movie. And that's it. That's all that this is. The stakes can be whatever. The reason behind why the criminals are doing their criminal deeds can be whatever, but it's always just a heist, But there's a difference between seeing something like that fucking Las Vegas zombie heist movie and looking at something like Ocean's 11, the good one with Brad Pitt and all of them. Not the old Rat Pack one that's like whatever. If you don't think that movie was used to basically funnel money for the mob, you're crazy. I'm not saying that it was, but I have but there might be a possibility. There might be a possibility to launder money. Launder money.
None of that story is true, is it, Carl?
No, I made it all up because I crave attention.
But this movie is just, ugh. Almost every actor in this movie just felt like they were phoning it in. Almost everybody. Mark Wahlberg and other people. I'm not naming names, but almost everyone just seemed like, they're here to pick up a check because I'm pretty sure it's a meaty check from being Amazon. And that's about it. no one really gave any type of performance that just mattered. And then again, Mark Wahlberg is an actor who has really good range, but you gave him a character that essentially had no character, which is unbelievably retarded when you're dealing with an actor like Mark Wahlberg. I mean, the man was just in a movie with Mel Gibson playing a killer, and he did great. Like he did great. He was very villainous. He was a threat. He was constantly keeping people on their toes. He was a problem. He was a problem character. And upon watching this, I was like, oh my God.
It's like a car crash. You can't take your eyes off it.
So when it comes to stuff like that, I know it can't possibly be the actors. It gotta be the direction. It gotta be the script. It gotta be the story. And honestly, that's the bulk of the problem with this movie. It's a like bare bones heist thriller with no kind of stakes for the main character. Aside from it being him just being someone that's like, oh, I'm a thief, but it'll never be enough in order to basically continue the story going as far as the books are concerned, I would assume. But as far as the character, it just seems as if he's putting himself in ridiculous danger for absolutely no reason. And then he just has a group of people that are willing to do that as well, just because he says so. And again, there's nothing that the character that Mark Wahlberg is playing that actually facilitates why anyone would even like this guy, let alone put their lives on the line to betray a huge criminal organization as well as a military from another country just to get a couple of bucks, you know, especially when the underlying theme behind everything is that, oh, they're doing this in order to help another country. They're stealing money from a country to be able to help a country by giving it back. But they're all very selfish robbers, so why would they want to do that? It's like the movie wants to play it that they have they're doing this out of the goodness of their heart, or they got a heart of gold, but they still expect to get a payday. And then when it was all said and done, it was just over with. But no one was truly upset at Mark Wahlberg. They were like, you're wasting our time. You put us in danger. This could have gone horrible or terrible or whatnot. No, none of that happened. Why would there be any character dynamic or some type of conflict within the group of people that he works with if they're supposed to trust him?
Yup. Diarrhea.
I couldn't help but think of this and then think of a TV show like Sneaky Pete that handled heist in a huge group of people that would casually work together, and then, basically backbiting and different backstabbing shit like that, because there was no honor among thieves. And that show was able to handle that and balance it wonderfully. And again, you have something like Ocean's 11, which also kept dealing with the whole comedic aspect of a heist and then still having it to be intricate, fun, and interesting. You look at a movie like this and it's like, wow, it's so nice that even the bad guys work in the favor of the main character by giving him everything he wants. It's so nice that the main character is basically known and has this huge reputation as being this thief, yet he's really bad at being a thief, but he's constantly killing people just constantly killing people, not getting himself out of tricky situations with his own ingenious plans or stuff like that, or having things over other people, or learning and having detailed information about other people, finding their weaknesses and doing stuff like that. No, he kills people. So then it's like, even in the beginning of the movie, it sets up that he's not supposed to go into New York because he made a deal with an organization or like a mob or whatever. And it was like, hey, you stay in New York and we won't kill you. And it's like, why? What did he do? What? And it's like, oh, we want to give him a John Wick-esque backstory without really having any justification behind it. And then you also set up the issue with him constantly going after the organization by saying, no one tells me like where I can't go. Like, then it's like, well, why were you not there in the first place? How is this? This doesn't make any sense. It's like it just doesn't make any sense. And there's even parts in the movie where, like I said, the bad guys would just go out of their way to go, hey, you think your plan's gonna work? Well, it's not, because we did this. What are you gonna do about that now? And then he's like, well, I'm gonna try and do this. And he's like, well, good luck. It's like, how is this sensible? Who wrote this and thought this would be dialogue that anyone would have? If you want, like, just so stupid. So unbelievably stupid.
See? Do you see? You're wasting time right there.
But I have all that to say that even though I'm saying it the way that I'm saying it, the execution that the movie actually gave it was a lot less enjoyable than how it is that I'm presenting it. The movie was bland. It was acted blandly. It was done in a terrible way, and it was just uninteresting. When it was over with, I was like, all right, whatever. The best part of the movie is literally the end, and that's because it kind of was setting up that that's obviously what the ending was going to be, and then it played it out, so it wasn't really surprising. It was just more so like, oh, finally. And it was like, I figured, and it was like you're making it seem as if it was a big deal, but again, duh.
Here's the deal. Some women are bitches and should be treated as such if the situation warrants it. Look, sometimes you gotta slap some asses to get some things done, you know what I mean?
And then also, anything that revolved any of the characters just was left uninspiring and uninteresting. The only other part of the movie besides the ending that I would say actually was something that I genuinely found entertaining, Jesus Christ, it's so sad to say that, was a Keegan-Michael Key part. I just feel that it's bad that this movie was just so mid. It was nothing. After I saw it, I was like, wow, I really need to see a good movie right now. I really hope that I can see a good movie. But yeah, this was pathetic, if you will. Considering the actors, considering the director, considering what they did for their effects, what they did for the shootouts, the action scenes, the car chase scenes, different things like that. And it's like, obviously you got competent people behind you working on this stuff. But why did you make such a pathetic film? It's sad. Oh my God, I keep saying it's sad. But it's crazy that the movie Mark Wahlberg did not too long ago, where the Family Plan or something like that.
I just speak gooder than you!
It's a much better movie than this one. Oh my goodness. Oh man. So I say all of this to say, Play Dirty is not a movie to even watch just because you want to see a bad movie and kind of criticize it or anything like that. Play Dirty is a movie that I guarantee if you put it on, it's not even a popcorn watch. It's a movie you're gonna put on and it's just gonna go and you're just gonna forget about it. It is so bland. Nothing happens. The jokes aren't funny. The characters dynamics aren't really that good. None of the characters' interactions are even good. There's no chemistry behind any of the two characters working together or talking together. Mark Wahlberg plays such a stoic, ridiculous, just flat line of a character that it's just surprising that he has so many people that just know so many intricate details about his life and they give a damn. Because why would you? Why would you give a damn? But yeah, I say all that just to say this has got to be the most mid movie I have ever seen on Amazon Prime, and I'm gonna leave it at that. So this has been another episode of Fun with Flame. I've been your Danieltheflame, and as always, good people. Hope you have fun.
Hey, retardos, why can't you walk over here?